With the servant girl, that was one thing, but to steal her jewelry and give it to Eliza was quite another. Sarah rushed home and unlocked the desk in her upstairs bedroom to check on the collection and unusual and valuable jewelry. The brooch and gold chains were not there. The jewelry had come from her father, whose father had once given it to his favorite slave girl. This was the second time that the jewelry had been exchanged for the favors of a servant girl. Sarah's trembling fingers moved the other jewelry in the velvet-lined box. It was all there. The belt made of gold links, each hooked to another, was in the bottom of the box. A rare, magnificent cross of rubies set in elaborate gold casing was there, as well as carved emerald and diamond jabot pin. But the two gold chains and the emerald brooch were missing. Green ice? Her grandfather had called the brooch. Sarah decided that she should have been wearing the jewelry all along. The mannerism that to conceal brilliance and achievement behind the drilled into her by her parents and her grandparents, where it had gotten her. The following day, Sarah confronted Eliza, and her plan was to get rid of the girl and say nothing to her husband. She quietly got the jewelry back and sent Eliza's way, and perhaps in time, she could never bring herself to forgive her husband, and she knew that she would never forget that she had done to her. But first things first, Sarah sucked in her breath and said, "Eliza, I know that you are carrying on with my husband." "Why all the up and down about that?" the girl asked. "You don't treat him nice like I do." The retort surprised Sarah and she did not let on. She regarded her servant attentively, and thought she never known more anguished time. Deep emotions was attached to every word. "What my husband and I feel for each other is no concern of yours," Sarah said, trying to remain calm so that the anger would not cloud her judgment. "But the fact that you are now in possession of my time and my jewelry concerns both of us." "It's mine," Eliza retorted. "It's not yours," Sarah countered icily. "You were like a child. You will not take things that's what's given to you. But the jewelry was only mine to do with whatever I choose, and I would never choose to give it to you." "The jewelry was only mine to do whatever I choose, and I would never choose to give it to you." Eliza's shoulders came up with a start. Sarah observed her servant single-mindedly, and she would never surrender. There was no force under which would crumble. Sarah could not be sure of what to do besides to let it go for the rest of the day. Her jaw sagged when she thought of her husband dilly-dallying with the simple woman. "Eliza, you will have to leave Hilton Head Island. I will make arrangements for you to leave, and I will see that you have a place to live. I will not let you leave hopeless. I will not speak of this again, but later today I will go to your cabin and receive the jewelry. Within a week you will be sent away." Just as she said, that afternoon Sarah went to Eliza's cabin and she took the jewelry from her. After Sarah left the small house, Eliza went to visit a witch doctor. She had always believed and could be effective cure or cast a spell more efficiently than other witch doctor on the island. The man's face was wrinkled and worked convulsively. He sat before what he called his altar, a table that was littered with lizard and snakeskins, dirt and bones, and Eliza told him her story. And when she left his house, which smelled like a rotten onion, she carried a small cloth bag in her hands. Eliza arrived at Sarah's house to prepare the evening meal, which was one of her tasks. That night, she made a deviled crab, a food at which she was an expert at preparing. As she mixed the ingredients for one particular serving, she emptied a few grains of something from the bag she brought from the witch doctor's house. Of one thing that she was certain, it contained crystals of strychnine. Eliza made sure that the crystals went into the crab, as they would be eaten by Sarah. As the Baynard sat at the oval table in the dining room under a waterford crystal chandelier, Sarah took a bite of her deviled crab, and suddenly she was deathly sick. Her mouth burned, and she clutched her throat, and within minutes she was dead. Eliza was accused of poisoning Sarah, and the people of the Hilton Head Island were outraged. They had heard rumors of Eliza's liaisons with Sarah's husband. Everyone knew that William Baynard had given Eliza some of Sarah's jewelry, and they also suspected that Sarah had discovered the indiscretion. Also, word had quickly spread that Sarah planned to send Eliza away. A cage iron was made by the plantation blacksmith, and it was hung from a limb of a huge live oak tree at the Big Gate, the present intersection of Matthews Drive and Marshlands Road. Eliza was hung within the cage, and her limp body was suspended for there all to see. For many years, the tree on which Eliza was hung was called the Eliza tree. Eliza's ghost comes back to the tree where she was hung, forever keeping the life story of her horrible murder of her mistress. So here's a side note. You turn right off of US 278 at Matthews Drive, the site of Zion Cemetery and the Baynard Mausoleum, and go to the intersection of Matthews Drive and Marshall's Marshlands Road. There is a seafood restaurant at the intersection, also a huge oak tree.